Ho ho ho! We are back. We're continuing case 3, and I gotta say, I'm a little sad. It's been 13 days for us.
I know it's been a while, but we've been busy.
Yeah, we have been really busy. So not bad.
And I wanted to do this when I knew I was awake because I didn't.
Not bad.
I don't want to fall asleep, you know what I mean?
That's right.
I'm in it right now because it's been nice.
Yeah, this is good. We're gonna put in the work. I know we were in the chef case. I know we talked to that one guy who's a chef, and he keeps doing those things with those 2 long sticks. Yes. So now we got to remind ourselves what we're doing.
He's weird, but I'm actually not suspicious of him.
Yeah, not yet anyway. I'm suspicious of her though, and the guy bending down.
That's kind of cute though.
Yeah, I hope she didn't do anything. Whoa, a candy castle! And look, there are even some little elves to go with it. Rooms laid out, pretty much the same as Tangaroa's. It's not as cold though, that's something. Let's see, yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in here too. Over there where that orange light is, right? We better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicious Scone. But where is Scone? Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicious Scone. Sir Delicious Scone. Sounds like it. At your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious. Tee-hee. Called a lovely boy of 34. Unexpected, to say the least. He's 34? Yeah. This dude looks grizzled. Lovely boys, really? Even Mr. E? Oh yes, dear. You, the detective over there, you're all lovely boys to me. I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad. I wonder just how old she is. Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, alright. Oh. I know that voice. Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle. Von Karma. What? He's Manfred von Karma? Eep, sorry, mannequins. The notorious prosecutor von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again. What a thoroughly rude individual. Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow. Ugh, you're even scarier than they say. And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. von Karma. Ah, and why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy? This clearly isn't going to be easy. So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it. Why the sudden change of heart? You, that tall fellow. Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember? I didn't ask you for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad, see to it that these worms don't step out of line. Why do I have to? I am not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day.
Do you need a cane to walk, or is that just part of his, like, Scarlet Pimpernel bowl crap?
I think it's just part of his
Get up.
bull crap, yeah. Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood between them. Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it. Indeed, I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up, I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait till I'm done. Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet? Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. Let's say we look over the room together, Detective. It worked out well enough before. And you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney asks to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer. Yes, you're amazing, Mr. E. Yeah, our thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now, shall we begin? Now, I'm going to go straight to the temperature control. There's a small door on the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it. Temperature 68 degrees, light set to green. Well, that's the temperature of the house right now. Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high.
Was somebody trying to sabotage her castle?
I wonder. Because somebody was trying to sabotage the other room, too.
The chocolate one?
Yeah. It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream. I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something. I didn't know you were so into such fantastical things. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, didn't mean to get so carried away there. Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you. You have a son, Mr. E? I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interest will make it hard for him to make friends. Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends, me included, I'm sure. I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie. A big brother, huh? Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously. Indeed. Then with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? The doors of the castle have been left wide open. Yeah, was the guy born in a barn? He could have at least closed them behind him. I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie. Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's going to be handling evidence, it'll be me. Tisk. Cream's going all runny. It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle?
That's a gold nugget, right?
Yeah. Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first.
The gold nuggets.
2 big rock crystals. Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. You kind of expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. Maybe this whole thing is based on a story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside. I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them. Looks like a little stand or something. I was right, they are gemstones. The stands must be so they can be put on display. But whatever they are, it seems they're not just a large set of paperweights. There's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls all together. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid them here. And I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. It's been 2 weeks, so I don't remember. where maybe we have it in evidence somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. He's wrapped in it. That's right. Right.
Can you bring up a picture of the deceased victim? Because he's got long hair. It's a man, right? That's him, Artie Frost.
Yep.
He just has long hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, how old is that girl? Don't know yet. This dude's 30. Once again, another guy who 36, 42,
What's far apart?
49,
Eddie's 18, right?
18. He's the only one who looks maybe a teeny bit younger than his age.
I mean, the girl, she's 17, right?
16. Okay, looks like we're good. Also, the runny cream with the high temperature. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet, when you open the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we better take another look at those handles, don't you? What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy, which is against the rules. It's not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top. What? So none of this is confectionery art after all. No, it's simply made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend it an air of authenticity.
The delicious girl is cheating.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why most of her stuff isn't completely.
Yeah, because you would think at 60, if it's supposed to be at 50 and that's 68, this thing should look deformed in the middle. So there's a blowtorch and some chemicals here. I guess it's all for cooking with. I wonder what these chemicals are. Let's take a look at the labels. Mango Down 911, Hami Cyanide 247. Wait, they're all poisons? No, sir, they're common colorings and flavorings used in candies and desserts. The first is concentrated mango, boiled down to its purest essence, hence Mango Down. They're asking for trouble with a name like that. Now I'm curious as to what Hami Cyanide might be. Yeah, that's what I thought of too. I'm like, what the heck? I thought he was going to explain what it was. It's a cute little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. Odd whipped cream decorations around it are beginning to lose their shape. The elf seems completely fine. Strange. Time to ask you about your fake castle. What's the matter, Miss Skill? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago. Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two? Why, yes. Nothing happened at all.
Why, yes, nothing happened.
I thought the same thing. What? Yeah, she's nervous. Also, that animation's adorable. I'm just saying. But you just said yes! Tee hee hee, that was a hello yes, you silly boy. Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again? Oh, Eddie. Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin? Kinda like David Pumpkin. It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment. She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E. Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can. We can't present that yet, can we? No, that's something else. Okay. It's in the other section, the L1 section. Could you tell us what you did over the course of the contest? Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started at about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think? Afternoon tea? It's an English tradition. A chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk. So kind of like recess? I suppose you could call it, you could say that. Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy.
Greggy Pegleg?
Greggy Pegleg. When did I become Greggy? And where was this afternoon tea served? Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. They do it at the same hour every break during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today, only me, Samson Silly Pants, and Moody Judy were there for it.
Moody Judy.
Sammy Poople was had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. Let me see. Already for Judy Bound.
She called her Moody Judy.
Moody Judy. They said Samson. Did he say Artie as well? Only me, Samson, and Moody.
Then who's Sammy Poople? It's Samson Silly Pants.
Maybe Sammy Poople's the same person. He was there the whole time. Because he was there. So I think that's just another nickname. The poor old Chili Winks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet, bless them. So, Chili Wings and Gusty Pants. Gusto. I guess. You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was there. Okay, so Artie Frost is the victim. That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our two TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though, tootled off while the others were still nattering away. At any point during the contest, did you visit any of the company's competitors, or other competitors' rooms? Well, no, dear, don't be silly. Okay, well, you did. That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
She wanted the chocolate.
Oh, are those the fingerprints we found? I think he just bluffed. Wait, so you admit you were there? Oh, well, I hardly can deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I'd better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room? Well, is she licking her own bowl?
I think she's hiding her face.
Yeah, like almost like a paper bag, breathing into it. Research? Sammy Poople's a dab hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say. What kind of research leaves fingerprints? Yes, well, it stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? What? You ate little pieces of them? So the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you. I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I?
Yes, I can point out that I noticed her apron says Bow Wow by
Right.
So I didn't know what the Phylactinus was, so I looked it up, and it's a genus of extinct carnivore marsupials. The only recent member also known as the Tasmanian tiger. So I'm not really sure what's up with her apron. Unless it's supposed to be like her, where you're like something cute, but you're like an addictive carnivore, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just watch her when she puts the bowl up to her face, read her apron.
Okay. I will, because I didn't even notice it. So, okay, so we're saying that handprint's hers, and all those pieces that are gone, she's saying she nibbled the pieces.
That's why every piece had something missing. She was eating it.
Yeah. And the stand holding up the ship, you took a bite out of that too, I suppose? Oh yes, dear, of course I did. It was you! You brought the whole thing crashing down! Bow Wow Thylacinus. Thylacinus. That's weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, my lovely, truly I am. Hold on, is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets? Look, just please believe me, I never killed anybody, I promise. Your actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. So then in that case... Ooh, look at that.
Show her the picture that.
This?
No, because she's got the wrap in there, so.
Gotcha. I wonder if she could actually give me information on any of these. Doesn't look like it. And the mansion key, I doubt it.
At least not. Yeah.
Just seems like we're missing something, but
Are we supposed to look around maybe?
no. What's the matter? Something weird about the ladder? It's not a ladder text. There we go. The step ladder debate.
What is with this thing?
It's just a running joke. Same difference. Far from it, actually. You'd know if you observed their basic natures more closely. Amazing, Mr. E. I'll have to remember this for future reference. I don't think we've encountered a ladder yet, so I hope there's a ladder in a later case. Where he's like, hey. Don't turn around, don't turn around. If you turn around, you'll eat it. You can't eat the castle, don't eat the castle. I guess he's watching his sugar intake.
And we should ask her about the cheating, because we've established that all of her stuff is just whipped cream smeared on actual structures, which is against the policy.
Yeah.
So, is there a way that we can present? Can you present the heater, the temperature?
No. That's in the other... That's in the puzzle one. Let's see. Is she a patissier or a plasterer?
You can plaster her.
Don't you go making jokes at my expense, you cheeky young devil. I don't just slap stuff on walls like a silly old plasterer. I have to spread the cream out lovely and smooth and work on all the rough patches. That's literally exactly what a plasterer does. 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. So that's the theme behind Miss Skill's creations, huh? Unlucky for her, things aren't quite as sweet around here as she's trying to make out. So, maybe there's a way... Is there anything else? We have 4. The victim was struck and killed with some kind of blunt force object. For some reason, there are stands mounted on the bottom of the rock crystals we found inside the Candy Castle. Skone visited another contestant's room in the name of research.
Okay, how about that and the fake confections? Because hers are fake, and theirs are real. It's worth a shot, right?
I suppose so. I mean, I feel like since we have 4, one of these has to do with something. I'm trying to figure out the...
What if they beat him with the rock crystal?
I mean, I don't think we have anything to indicate that right now. I'm not saying it's not it. I'm just not sure if it's it. It's something that we can establish a connection. The thick, sweet scent of delicious whipped cream is in the air. It's like a fairy tale, but in real life. And yet there he was, standing in the middle of it all with an evil look on his face. His whole experience is wasted on the scary old creep. Come now, Eddie, you can't call people names like that, it's rude. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll try to be more careful. It's just, he reminds me of this teacher I once had who was always super angry with me. Stern school teacher, huh? Now that he mentioned it, Mr. Von Karma does have the look of one. But I shudder to think what it would be like for Miles to study under him. Maybe it's just not time. And I don't know. Rooms out the same as Tangarella's. I was inside the castle, must have been looking around in there. Unless maybe had a reason to. Yeah. There's nothing else to examine. I gotta think it's something to do with this. I just don't know what the hell. I guess not. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, these pillars, they have hexagonal indentations. There we go.
Oh, they should be standing.
Yeah. That's what we're missing. The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon. Makes perfect sense. But if that's the case, then why are they being hidden inside the castle? The rolls of boot cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle, I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone, what were you using the items inside the castle for? Oh, those? Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say. Let me guess. Von Karma? Eek, how did you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. He'll have my guts for garters. It's funny, you know, when she sweats, she looks like she's some kind of cake melting.
But look at her. Back of her hair looks like icing.
Yes! It seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense. Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... What's that, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets? Your trinkets? Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed. You use rock crystals and cloths to do that? I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them. Wow, those things are lamps? Hee 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 hee. Oh, that's not even the half of it. Those cloths hold on an even more exciting secret. She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets. Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic? Oh, Batty Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me? The name is Bad. Is that a no? Why are you being so selfish, Batty Bumpkin? Have you finished taking photos of this room yet? Yes, sir, we have, sir. Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you? Yes, sir, right away, sir. Tee-hee-hee-hee. Oh, you're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Batty Bee? That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got him to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent. Thank you ever so much, Battykins. And you, Officer Lovely. She's even giving nicknames to the forensics guys now. I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So what about this is supposed to be relaxing exactly? Well, don't be a big sourpuss, Batty Bee. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now. Yes, ma'am. Huh? Wow, it's beautiful. It is. I wish my son were here to see it. Isn't it, though? Wonderful. 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen? One of the elves must be feeling a little left out. This is how it was supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Oh, what happened there, I wonder? I think we better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time.
Well, there's one elf, is it not lit up?
That's the thing, what's wrong with him?
She doesn't have the fabric above her.
Oh, this one! For some reason I thought they were talking about the one on the right. This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others. It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But
That's the one they used to wrap the dead one in.
yeah. One of my cloths and one of my little machines went missing. Cloth, and what sort of machine exactly? Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called, full-spectrum light-emitting devices. They send light down the main cable into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Or blue like clinking crystals of ice. They have these little special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all. Forgive me, so these machines, they're what make the special luminous cloth light up in those beautiful colors, Mr. E. I see, so much new technology I can barely keep up. So these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them, and a piece of luminous cloth? That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to. This cloth, it could have something to do with the case. And now the lamps. Uh-oh.
Told you.
Yeah? I didn't say he wasn't killed by it, I just said we didn't have anything for the L1. Okay. I must scour the scene. So, the blood, huh? Those lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor. Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left. That's not just a stain, that's... Yep, it's blood all right. I can smell it. What? Blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Could that have something to do with why its bulb is broken? We better take a closer look at the other one, too. So, Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display. Why are they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken? Except there's plenty of other places she could have put them. Best place to hide some salt is in some sugar, isn't that how it goes? Perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'd like to point it out by making a deduction. Yeah, because I see the deuce. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt, and we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. The lamp not have been the murder weapon? For sure, it could definitely do enough damage to kill someone. You science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet? Yes, sir, just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it. There you have it. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may have to add her to our list of suspects.
Maybe she's big enough to pull off what?
I don't think so either. I think there's a lot she's doing, but I think it has to do with taking stuff and not using correct materials, and
I don't think she's a murderer.
I don't think so either. So...
Eureka!
Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would both have been against the rules. Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle? I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure. My shoes are already covered in cream. I wouldn't go any closer, unless you want the same thing that happened to you. We've seen what's behind these doors. There's really no reason to look again. The doors look nicely decorated now, thanks to the beautiful cloth around it. Cloth which we found inside the castle. A welcoming doorway makes a welcoming home. It's just common sense for us detectives. Says the man who just trampled all over the castle's entranceway. But I'll hold my tongue for now. Oh, she actually... Oh, you got a lovely eye, haven't you, dear? You'd be amazed how it works. Actually, never mind. Can't go away giving my secrets now, can I? Well, that was strange. What just happened? Did Mr. Von Karma bully her into staying silent about what she knows? We have 5 again, I think. Now 3. Yeah, Scone's confections were fake, and the rule breaking, and the fake confections are also rule breaking, so maybe this is it. So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, I guess she's not going to get crowned world's greatest now. And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all this? Now we can present that stuff. Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees? Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? And besides, being chilly's no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know. It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate. Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie. Wait, you really didn't know that?
I wonder if she's a kid covering for something.
Yeah, like, she's just completely clueless, and...
Yeah. She's calling it a theory.
Laurel Callas confectioner my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone goes more mysterious by the minute. So before I present that... Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created, and she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I picture a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or is she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder? There's no way of saying so for certain just yet. So but she is hiding something. That much I'm certain of. That's enough investigation for now, don't you think? Yeah, we certainly found plenty of interest. Oh, we didn't even have to present the fact that she broke the rules and everything's fake. I was going to do that after we were done. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found the murder weapon when he searched this room. And yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone. Eek, how could you, Batty Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that. It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us? Of course, dear. Where are we off to? To find Mr. Von Karma. And I see him with his cane. Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's all right. Tis, tis, tis. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon? We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest. Ah, nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found, Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain. How can he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room? Oh, of course I do, and I'll be delighted to share it with you. Tangaroa killed Frost in one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. The body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Mr. Scone's room. It is indeed, or Miss Scone's room. But it is more than an assertion, it is a fact based on my own investigation. You mean you have proof that he did so? Huh, I don't need any such thing. What? Tis, tis, tis. If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder.
Hold
it! So he took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own. Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost. But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this casts Miss Scone herself in a suspicious light. Perhaps if you would let me finish. Now, as I was saying...
Hold it!
You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the Candy Castle, correct? Precisely. I was the one who found it. So be grateful. It's thanks to me you even have such a vital piece of evidence. What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking? Good point. Maybe he just wanted to see what it was like there. Fools, you think I went in there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot, so I investigated it myself. But I had nothing to do with the initial investigation. That's right, Detective Bad wasn't a part of this investigation until very recently. If you want my trust, Detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time. Now, if you'll let me continue...
Hold it!
But he came under suspicion anyway due to the body being in this room. So why... Would you like to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. So, let me finish. If only I could say the same to you.
Hold it!
So you think he hid the body in the chest, but removed the murder weapon from the crime scene? Yes, he foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding space. Eek, I'm sorry, I had to help myself. I think you mean you couldn't help yourself, no? She doesn't seem very sorry to me. In any case, the weapon was taken away, while the body remained at the scene of the crime.
Hold it!
But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit?
Objection!
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here, the presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of his guilt. And you didn't find evidence pointing to any other possible suspects. Perhaps you should take another look. You might... You really don't give up, do you? There was no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims. I have to think back over the scene of the crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, there must be something that points to somebody else. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims. I think it's the last one, and I think there's maybe something we have that would point to somebody else. Let's see. I don't know what the seal is for.
Well, somebody dropped it in there with him. I don't know who 2 inches.
Yeah, or HP or
That
what?
shouldn't have been in there.
No, it shouldn't be.
I think that that's it.
I think so too. I'm just gonna read this inside really fast.
Objection!
Really?
Well, this, she lost a roll.
She did, but I don't think she. Well, I was gonna say she can't take it down. She would have needed to learn, and that came from her. That came from her display, though.
Yeah, like,
It doesn't point to somebody else.
if it came from her, then it points to her as a suspect.
Okay.
Or just the fact that that's on him. Let's try
Objection!
that instead.
Okay.
Yep. It's true that the murder weapon and the bloodstained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime, but something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room? What's that, dearie? One of my lovely colorful cloths at the scene of the crime, you say? A luminous cloth? Nonsense. I see no light. I guess he doesn't know how it works. It may look like an ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, the difference soon becomes apparent. Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that. But the fact that that cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. Seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. Eek! Draggy Pegleg, how could you? You're accusing me of all people? I'm not accusing you of anything just yet, but I do think you're hiding something. That's not... Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder. Exactly. Tisk, 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 tisk. Is something funny? Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you. What does he mean? Was he in there putting them back? Maybe when we found him? subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping. What? And after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost, as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. And as you know now, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder, so you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel? To have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom.
Then why did he leave the other stuff with her? Why did he let her spackle all that with whipped cream? Like, you've seen her tote in, like, the playhouse that she spackled with cream, right?
You would think, yeah. Because everything was fake. The elves were fake, the castle was fake. Miss Scone, why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated, Mr. Tangarella? Well, dear, Mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. Mr. Von Karma said that. And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourselves just a second ago. Tis, pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result. One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are two, and only two sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. Two? Yes, those of Delicious Scone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. Yeah, he could be making a lot of this up. At this rate, no one will even need to testify, and with perfect evidence, will do all the talking for me. I secure his guilty verdict. But wait, what about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room? What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying. Tisk, tisk, tisk. No more pitiful objections. Get out of my sight and close the door behind you. Mr. E? I'm not about to just give up. I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad, escort them off the premises now. This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bad, what is the meaning of this? Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half-solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. He's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for. We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, Detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's. I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad. What? This is the yet unidentified something that was... The seal?
Yeah.
Take that!
That's not what I'm thinking of.
I don't know why it's in there, though.
We don't. Let's see. No prints on this. But...
Take that!
There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer, it could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. How do you know so much about the crime scene? Because I let them look around. You let the defense examine the scene, Bat? Are you out of your mind? I don't remember you telling me not to. Huh, insolent worm. You would do well to remember this then, Detective. But the results of your next salary review is up to me. Boy, this has been a thing for a while. Oof. Detective Bad's in trouble now, too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as you remember that the results of your salary review is up to your performance on this case. A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations. But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat? Ooh, stop it, Greggy! Stop it, stop it! Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I owned up to nibbling poor Sammy Poople, sweeties. What more do you want? I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us, and you're still not telling us everything. Oh, Greggy, stop it. Stop bullying me. I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that? I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry I'm just a little silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say? I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough.
Ooh, he's sweating now.
I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself.
Where is the real Delicious going?
That's what I'm curious about, because he was sweating at some of our objections, but he's sweating about us saying this, which, evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten.
You've never met her.
Yeah, it's the first time. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? Let's see. Oh, the rules. Well, no, wait.
The research, the sampling.
Yeah, the fake confections.
I think that could work.
What?
Sampling.
But the sampling's not evidence.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah,
Take
things
that.
the fake. Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the cloths and the lamps, were duly confiscated as we have established, and the witness did not go and bring them back to her room
Objection.
herself. But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created, every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. No real-world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Dad? Yep, saw with my own eyes. Step in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With her lies exposed like this, surely he can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects. But no, dear, I'm no killer. Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really, and why were you tampering with your rival's works? Alright. Truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it. What? Pharmacist? Can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one? Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. Sammy Poople's sweets are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final. Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words. That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Samson's Silly Pen sweets are the tastiest treats I ever did eat. And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing gloves? Eep! No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves. Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere in Mr. Tangaroa's other creations. I take the points to her not having worn any gloves. Exactly, Lambkin. Greggy Peglegs got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman. Is your head filled with cream, too? Eek! Sorry, mannequins. Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled? No, dear, I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to the Chili Wings room and had a little taste, too. You were in the victim's room, too? Yes, dear, nobody was in there, you see. Quite possible because the occupant was already dead. But I couldn't only stomach one little bite. I'd never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate. You had quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone? Indeed, what didn't she sample? That's everything, I promise. Greggy Pegle's mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things. As long as what you told us is the truth, it's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that this means I believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we both be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions. Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. We'd like to accompany you all the same. What is the meaning of this?
Is it melting or?
When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone, the whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest, a murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room? This case was a real peach, and it was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all.
So at this point, Samson's under arrest, right?
Yeah.
So he could not have come back and done this.
There's no way.
Should be in the detention facility.
Yeah.
Now his assistant is a different story.
The assistant, I am not sure about.
You want to take a short little break and continue?
Possibly, or... I mean, I can continue here, if you want.
Yeah, but I thought you wanted to start, like, the next part over. Like, whatever part we're on, then there'd be a new part number.
You mean, like, start a new video?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't need to do that.
Okay, then carry on.
Yeah, I'll keep going. All right. Back to the present. Whoa, went deep on that one. Sorry, Miles Sereno. Didn't mean to bend your ear for so long. I had no idea that was how it all came about. I read the files, but they don't go into anywhere near that level of detail. Yeah, I'll bet they paint things in a much rosier light for the prosecution, too. Von Karma was the one in charge, after all. What happened with the case after that? Well, what with the ice sculptures vanishing from the victim's room, things hit a bit of a rough patch. So rough, in fact, that it took a full year before they could even reach a verdict in the trial. A year? That was back before they brought in the whole initial trial thing. You didn't have to finish up in double quick time like you do nowadays. I see. Did they ever find out how the victim's creations managed to just disappear? Well, they were sorbets or frozen desserts or whatever you want to call them. Ice, in other words. And if it's made of ice, it can melt, which is exactly why they concluded must have happened. But there's a chance that wasn't how things actually went down. What do you mean? So this place is a gallery these days, but back then, it was Samson Tangaroa's place, yeah? Indeed, in the site of the IS-7 incident. Well, word is Frost's ice sculptures are suddenly back on display 18 years after that fateful day. The very sculptures the victim made. Who knows? Could be they're just modeled on the originals. But I figured it was worth coming down for a little look-see just in case. Seemed like the least I could do for poor old Gregory. Well, alrighty then. Let's go take a look at those icy marvels, shall we, kiddo? I believe they're on display in the Winter Wing, as it's very snazzily known. So, Winter Wing, Winter Wing. Huh? I don't believe it. It's locked. The gallery's open for biz, but the Winter Wonder Wing's off limits? What gives? Fender, perhaps you should look more closely at the pamphlet we were given. The Winter Wing is over there. It is? Riki could have sworn it was this one. Anywho, shall we? Time to dive on in and see what we should have seen 18 years ago. Oh, wow. Really? The two of them are here? And he still looks as unsure of himself as ever. I see they're keeping it chilly as all heck in these rooms. It's about to turn into a popsicle stick. It is the Winter Wing, you know, but you're right, it's like a freezer in here. It could be a trick of the light, but it feels like the whole room is made of ice. Temperature controls would be somewhere at the back there if memory serves. Hey, Milester, could you go peep the degree count? Thinking complaint to the management is in order. There is such a thing as too cold, yeah? Alright, if you insist. Take your time, mosey around, and take in the sights while you're at it. got a camera I need to prep for action. I feel like your pop might appreciate a picture of all this. I'll put it on his grave so we can have a gander. Of course. Maybe so soon, Miles? Stick around taking the sights. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So, how about this? I scream out, "Oh no, that must be the work of that villain Damask." Yeah, and I go, "That's me, the legendary Master Damask." Yeah, and then no, say that, and you'll be in cuffs before you can blink, Ronnie. You gotta take this more seriously. Otherwise, how are we gonna get this market to sell? What exactly are these two plotting?
Stealing the art.
Boy wearing a backpack. What's he doing at an art gallery on his own? She wanted to run a gallery so bad she just quit the industry. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Does this boy know the owner of the gallery, perhaps? Thunder, I can't seem to find the temperature controls you mentioned. Oh yeah, it's a little tricky if you don't know where it's at. Here, I'll have it open for you in a jiffy. Huh? Dang thing's locked. Makes sense, I guess. Wouldn't want the visitors cranking up the thermostat and melting the art. According to the pamphlet, the winter wing is kept at a constant 27 degrees. Owie! That's colder than a snowman's cold bits. I'm gonna freeze to death in here. Yeah, I guess there's just one thing for it. Somebody's getting a Snuggie. Hey, what's with the icy stare? You want me to freeze to death? No. This lamp appears to be made of rock salt. It's illuminating the diagram of the zodiac just above it. Yes, both Gemini and Taurus are not only zodiac signs, but constellations that are visible during winter. Winter constellations on display in the winter wing, and uniquely, these statues are made of flavored ice. According to the pamphlet, yeah, we received the one in the other rooms are made of crystal glass. Ice might be rather fitting for the summer wing, too. Who doesn't like a nice snow cone on a sunny day? But then it would probably be too similar to this room, I suppose. Also, I think it's relevant, the fact that Fender thought it was the other room that this was in. Like, there's something weird about the fact that it's not in this room, I think. There's a huge block of ice on display here. It must be incredibly heavy, but maybe not. What would it be hollow on the inside? There's a constellation engraved into the surface along with some explanatory text. The Pleiades. Or the Pleiades? I'm pronouncing this badly. Known to some as Subaru, they form part of the larger constellation of Taurus. But why cram so many stars into one tiny part of a single constellation? Because people in ancient times weren't hugely careful about such things. There are two large ice statues on display here. Guess these are remakes of Frost's work from 18 years back. Real eye-catching stuff. Ice sculpture's a heck of an art form, huh? It is. These are the works my father never got to see. To think that I get to see them instead so many years later. Sorry to butt in while you're deep in a think hole, Milester. Would you mind looking this way a sec? This way? Beautiful, yeah, just like that. Fender, really? Say cheese! Please don't do that again. I don't like having my picture taken. Heh, my bad, big guy, my bad. I had to check if this whole thing was still working, is all. Now that you mention it, your camera does look rather ancient. Vintage model. You ever hear of an instant camera? It develops the picture right after you take the shot. Still twist my noggin trying to think how it works. I know what an instant camera is, although I've never used one. Heh, should have known Mr. Know-It-All would know it all. You really are your father's son. Alright, step aside. I need to get some good shots of the room here. For all his joking, he looks very serious about the pictures he's taken. He must have his own theories about the IS-7 incident. Woo, I should have been a paparazzo. These are gold and they develop right away. Want to see? Well, since you've already shoved one in my face. Alright, Brainiac, question. What do these two sculptures represent? They appear to represent Taurus and Gemini, two constellations best observed during wintertime. Bingo! He shoots, he scores! Woo! You're a regular encyclopedia, Milester. Guess that's why this is the Winter Wing, right? Because they have the Winter Star stuff on display here? Anyway, seeing as I'm the nicest old rogue on the block, that one's yours for keepsies. Thanks. So the victim made these same Zodiac statues out of flavored ice for the contest 18 years ago. Sure did. Lovingly crafted life-size desserts. I only ever saw the old ones in photos, though. But these are the spit of the original. And so this is what you wanted to show me. Yep, think Gregory would have wanted you to see him too. And I may not have had it in me to come here on my own. Sorry to drag you along. Not at all. I'm happy to be able to see when my father's final case unfolded. Good to hear you say so, Paleo. Let's say we grab another quick snap to commemorate this heartwarming occasion. Absolutely not. Alrighty, I got the shots I wanted. Shall we scoot on over to another wing and see what's cooking? May as well do the full tour while we're here. I suppose so. Ah! What was that? It came from the fountain room. Come on, let's see what's up. Yeah, and is that Larry Butts? Is that the guy who was the bad cook? There's something on the or the bad, not the bad cook. Yeah, the one who couldn't really make something like the dragon look like a seahorse.
Oh, it is him.
It is him. Larry, what are you doing here? Actually, never mind that. What on earth is going on? Edgy! You should have seen it. It was awful. Just calm down and tell me why there is an unconscious man on the floor. I didn't do anything. He just fell down in front of me. Wait, I know this guy. Is everything alright? Don't you know it's rude to make a racket in an art gallery, you naughty boys? Wait, this smell. He's still breathing, but I know these symptoms. It's not safe, Miles. We need to get everybody out of here. Everybody with me. There isn't a moment to lose. There's poison gas coming out of that room. How's the victim doing, Fender? Not good. He inhaled a lot of gas. He's still out, and it sounds like it's pretty serious. But the paramedics said there were no signs of external injury, that he was conscious before it happened. Anyway, he's alive, just barely. He's lucky we found him when we did. But like I said, he's not out of the woods yet. They put him in the medical room with a specialist. I see. I couldn't help noticing that it seemed like you knew him, Fender. Sure do. That was Carmelo Gusto. He was here back when the whole IS-7 thing went down. The confectioner, so he was here 18 years ago, too. Any hoozles, this guy here seems like he's in rude health. Old pal of yours, Miles Sereno? Yeah, something like that. I'm glad you're okay, Larry. Something like that? Are you serious, Edgy? You've known me since elementary school. Crush a guy's feelings, why don't you? Anyway, you know you're supposed to call me Larice Donim when I'm dressed like this. So no more Larry, okay? Got that? This is Larry Butts. He's a bit of a troublemaker, but he's one of my only friends from back when we were little kids. Ever since he developed a passion for art, he's been trying to make it big as Larice Donim. But new name or not, he's still the same old Larry. Whoa, grade school buddies. I need to go tell Gregory about this. He'll be over the moon to hear you have a pal. He was always worried you'd never click with anybody. Hear that, Itchy? You're lucky to have a friend like me. I never knew I was the cause of such worries for my father. Never mind that now, Larry. What are you doing here? Larice, Edgy, how many times do I have to tell you it's Larice? What are you doing here? You know, Larry wanting to be called Larice is like, it's like Burt Reynolds wanting to be called Turd Ferguson.
Well, I think when he's doing his artistic stuff,
Yeah. I know.
What's wrong with...
Or he's like the maestro in Seinfeld. He wants to be called Maestro. Good, now talk. You want to know why I'm here? Why the heck do you think? My art, of course. Oh, and I'm coming on a date here with Lulu soon, so I thought I'd better scope the place out. So not actually for your art at all. Laurice, my man, an artist and a romantic. You'll have to introduce me to this lady friend of yours. Oh, sure, it's nice to have somebody take an interest for once. Spare me. Oh, by the way, Lauricio, did you notice anything when you found the victim? Nothing in particular. Didn't you say you'd seen something awful? Oh, that. The old guy, he just appeared and then splat, he was on the floor. Scared the life out of me. But for once, I had nothing to do with any of it. Don't look so proud, that's the least we should be able to hope for. Looks like she's older now. Honored guest, I can only apologize for the trouble you've experienced.
She was 18 years later, so she would be like 35, right?
Yep, 30s now. Another person from the IS-7 incident. Good to see you, Judes. Mr. Fender, it's always a pleasure. She was at the reception desk when we arrived, so she's the one in charge here. I can't believe you had to go through something so awful on our first day in business. Hey, quit that, it's not your fault. Oh wait, I guess I'd better introduce you guys. Judy, meet Miles Edgeworth, son of the late great Gregory. Really? You're Mr. Edgeworth's son? Well. Isn't this fabulous? That great man's son here with us. 18 long years have passed, and now look, he's here at last. It's very lovely to meet you, Mr. Fine Attorney number 2. Judy, that was the bomb. I see you're in good voice as ever. Miles Edgeworth, prosecutor. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, you're a prosecutor? I'm so sorry. Forgive me for jumping to conclusions. She's very polite, but there's something strange about her.
I'm suspicious of her, too.
Yeah. Hey, Judy, can I get an autograph? You can write it in here. Well, if you're sure you'd even want such a thing, why do you want it, Larry? Rude, you know who she is, right? Come on, Milester, you don't keep up with showbiz news or nothing? Guess that's no big surprise. What's going on? Why are they looking at me like that? Judy here's a living legend. It's not just TV, movies, musicals, chart-topping hits, you name it. Hee, don't be silly, I'm just a humble art gallery owner now. I finally quit the biz for good. I finished shooting my last movie just the other day, in fact. Some of my co-stars were even kind enough to say that they would come visit once we opened. Anyway, here you are, and good luck with your artistic endeavors. Thanks so much, Judy. I'll treasure it till my dying day. You and me are peas in a pod, Laurice. Peas in a gosh dang pod. Just like that. How lovely for you both. Larry, could you go practice your drawing somewhere or something? You did come all the way to an art gallery, after all. It'd be a shame to waste the opportunity. A real artist drawing our exhibits? What an honor. Guess even you can have a bright idea once in a while, Edgy. Alright, Judy, seeing as you were so nice about it, I guess I will. Be right back. He's a real live wire, that one. That's one way of putting it. I could only apologize. By the way, there was another woman with you before. Where is she now? You mean Delicia? Delicia Scone? She's in the medical room, helping to care for Mr. Gusto. I call it the medical room, but it's nothing quite so grand, of course. I couldn't stay with them, as I'm the only one on staff, and I can't leave the gallery unattended for long. Delicia Scone. We've heard the name before, haven't we, Fender? Sure have. Sounds like our IS-7 bingo card is complete. Something tells me this isn't a coinky-dink. Perhaps I could offer you gentlemen a cup of tea? A drop of the old Judy Mound Special Blend? Why not, for old time's sake? That would be lovely, thank you. Now, if you'll both excuse me, gotta go explain things to the other visitors. You're still in her age. Yes, she's 34 now. You go do your thing, Judes. Thanks again. This aroma, Ceylon, I believe. Let's give it a try. This is a fine blend. A top quality Ceylon indeed. Ceylon?
I'm not sure.
Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, right? Heh, your old man said those exact words 18 years ago. Really takes me back. There's just one difference. Jude's cooled the saucers back then. Not today, though, it seemed. Anyway, don't you think this is all a little odd? Every single person from an 18-year-old case all assembled in the same place at the same time? Yes, it almost feels as if an investigation is in order. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, you're all right. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender. We heard you got caught up in a poison gas attack, so we came as fast as we could. Well, if it isn't the cavalry, come on, team, bring it in. No way. Besides, you're both doing just fine. Gummy and I got ourselves all worked up over nothing. Detective Gumshoe, what were you thinking bringing Kay with you? Sorry, sir. I knew it was dangerous, what with the poison gas and all, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran, but I just couldn't shake her off. When it comes to running away, the great thief right here is the world champ. And run away, don't chase the poor detective. All set, sir. Just say the word, I'll head in there and start investigating. I mean, it's logical why he has a gas mask, but just because it's Gumshoe cracks me up. You guys stay here. That gas could still be dangerous. Alright, we're counting on you, detective. Good luck in there, Dickie boy. No way. Gumby almost looks like a real detective. I'm so proud of him. But he is a real detective. This is Edgeworth speaking. Mr. Edgeworth, looks like the gas is almost dissipated, sir. I don't know, but that top one's cracked. Very good, detective. Now calm down and tell me what you see. First up, the exhibits. There's a statue of two people on the left side. You know, I'm going to investigate that too, because I bet you Fender will now have a ladder conversation with Gregory, or with Miles, after that whole conversation happened 18 years ago. We can continue the debate. With a statue of two people and a two-horned animal, that sounds familiar. Yeah, this looks like the same as the other room. In fact, it sounds identical to the display in the Winter Wing. Other than that, this place is looking pretty damp. The sprinkler sprayed the place good. Must be what stopped the gas from spreading. The sprinklers, are there any signs of a fire? No, sir, and the fire alarm hasn't been triggered either. The sprinklers look like that type that detect heat and smoke. When they detect something, they send an alarm, either fire or smoke, to the security room. Guess they read the gas as smoke and triggered the smoke alarm that way. And was anyone in the security room when that alarm went off? This place only has one employee, and that's Judy Baum, the manager. She was at the reception desk across from the security room the whole time since the gallery opened. So she heard the alarm from across the way and turned on the sprinklers? Yep. Seems like they can only be switched on manually and only from there. I don't want the art getting soaked for no good reason, I guess. But if it's manual, you could maybe even check how bad the fire was and try to get some stuff out first. So the security setup is geared around protecting the exhibits. That makes sense in an art gallery, I guess. One more thing, it's freezing in here. This isn't the autumn wing, it's the deep midwinter wing. So the autumn wing is cold too. Check the temperature, it's 26.5 in here, sir. Why is the autumn wing being kept at the same temperature as the winter wing? That's about all I've got for now. I'll let you know if I find anything else, sir. Understood. Thank you, Detective Gumshoe. What did Gummy have to say? He said that the autumn wing is actually quite wintry. I don't get it. I'm wondering what it could mean myself, but it's a bit hard to tell from out here. We should try to get in there as soon as possible as the police are done with their investigation. Amen to that. We need to see what the deal is for ourselves. Is there anybody else who might know something in the meantime? Oh yeah, there is one guy, Miles' best bud. Is what? Ugh, if we have to, and I guess we have to. Wait, that's... Okay, didn't expect to see you here. You're looking as fresh-faced as ever. Yeah, long time no see. Larry, right? So here's the deal, Kay. I'm Laurice right now. You see, I'm also a bit of an artist. Ah, so it's your alias. I like it. Good to see you, Laurice. I always knew you were a nice, thoughtful kid. Unlike some people. I have some questions for you, Larry. What the? How am I a suspect? Just because I found the guy doesn't mean I did the crime. I never said you did. I just need you to tell us what you saw. You said you saw something awful. How so exactly? Look, I didn't see anything. I didn't do anything, okay? I don't think I did anyway. Whoa, Chief. You didn't sound too sure of yourself at the end there. There's something you should know about him, Mr. Fender. When something smells, it's usually the butts. We've been saying that about Larry for 26 years now. His ability to attract trouble is legendary, for want of a better word. His ability to cause trouble, too. I suppose I better find out what he did this time. Are you tired? Okay. I only played for a lot, so... Next time we play chess against Larry, which should be an easy win.